And we're back. We're back with episode 13. Thank you guys for being here. Welcome from a Monday to a Wednesday, and here we are. So, for those of you that are here, amazing. You guys already know what the deal is. I'm going to start off with a topic tonight, and we're going to talk about this topic because it seems to be a topic that all of you are very interested in. Before I get to that topic, I want to say the call-in link, if you guys want to call into the show, because as you know, this is a call-in show. We do things right over here. We do things right. We do things tight. If you want to call into tonight's show on YouTube, there is a link in the chat I have pinned, and there's also a link in the description on YouTube where you can use to enter backstage. I'm just telling that right now so everybody understands how to play the game. Now, we're going to dive into an interesting topic because everybody's always asking me the same question about this specific topic. I don't know if you guys know that, but there's one topic you guys tend to love more than anything else, and that topic is long distance. Long distance is such a thing for you guys. It's always a thing that people end up getting into at some point. Now, I'm not fully against long distance. I'm just mostly against long distance. There are exceptions to that general statement of principle or rule of long distance, but I got to tell you, they rarely work. And they rarely work for a variety of reasons that I'm going to list off for you one second in just one bit. Before we get to that, can everybody please like the video? If you are in here, just like the video for me. That will do wonders for your boy. Long distance, the complicated splendides of long distance. I'm going to list off some of the problems that people tend to face in long distance. And maybe you yourself have gone through these problems because they're that common. They're that common. That's why all are like, well, I'm on Raya. Or who gives a damn where the hell you are, Raya? What is Raya going to deliver you gold because he's going to see you as cookie credits when he visits you? If it ain't in person, it ain't real, pal. All right? And some of you guys get wrapped up in the long distance for so long. These become situationships that are, in many cases, irreparable. Meaning there's nothing you can do about it because you let yourself get so far into the loop of long distance that you've messed this up. You've gotten so emotionally in tune with somebody you've never met before, or maybe met once on a one-off. But let me tell you, let's go off on the flow. Let's go along the flow, shall we? Number one is the basic one. You really don't get to see them in their element. I'm not talking about on FaceTime. No, sir, no, ma'am. I'm not talking about on FaceTime. That's fine if you want a distant compadre. You want a distant hombre. Then okay, fine. That doesn't make it any more real for you because you're able to FaceTime with somebody long distance. As long as we understand this one fact. I've seen so many people get their hearts broken about this. It's not real. You're not seeing them in their element enough. You have ideas of them. And that's just what this is. It's an idea of them. It's who they could be. Who people present themselves to be on the phone or even a one-off. Let's say you guys hang out once every 3 months or 2 months. That's a moment in time. And people become the best version of themselves when it's for a short period of time around one specific person. That means they're putting on their best front. And you are too, by the way, because you want to make this moment memorable for yourselves. And that's a big part of the downfall of why long distance typically doesn't work, because you don't get to see them when they're stressed. You don't get to see them when they're just being themselves, when they catch attitudes, when they've been working long days, because it's not consistent enough. They're one-offs that are overly glamorized. Are you a distant compadre? Distant bad hombre? I didn't think so. So because you don't see them enough, you don't understand even their body. You don't even know how they work. You don't understand what they do, their micro expressions. You don't get to see them, who they are. Big one. I want to add a caveat to this point. Some of you are addicted to long distance. Some of you love the distance gap between one another because you want to know why? No, one would say, well, why, Ben? Why do we love long distance? Why do I keep attracting long distance people into my life? It's very simple. It's because you love it. It's because you love the fact that it's an idea. You love the fact you actually don't have to integrate. It doesn't have to involve your day to day. You don't have to get, they don't have to really get that involved. It's very Aladdin-ish. It's very much of a fairy tale. And some of us are addicted to fairy tales. Some of us are addicted to great ideas of great things that could potentially be something. But that's just lusty behavior now, isn't it? Some of us love the fact that we can idealize a scenario that will never really get integrated. And some of us really like that because it protects us. It protects us from getting hurt. There's no real hurt because they didn't see us. And there's no real integration because we don't see each other that much. So it's nice. It's conducive for me. Everything's conducive until it isn't anymore. Until you've gotten too far down the pit, down the path, too far invested. Then it becomes, well, where is the realness? Well, at first you love the fact that this isn't real. You love the fact that this is distant and it's convenient for you. It's a level of convenience that's just convenient enough for you to keep things rolling. And let me tell you something about guys at a distance. Guys sometimes they love distant options. They love distant options because it's a place where they can have just that, a distant option. When they visit that city or when it comes down to time to where it's convenient enough for them to go to your city, it's cookie credits. That's cookie credit all day. That's great cookie credits. That means I can use my cookie credit, one that I've been building up, by the way, one that I've been investing in for weeks, sometimes months. And then when I do get there, because I'm there for work, by the way, oh yeah, I'm sliding in that message just saying, I'm here. Here we are. Let's get to it. Let's pick back up on business. Let's go down that rabbit hole we were talking about going down before. Remember that? All that issue we're talking to me on the phone? All that dirty talk? All that chalant dirty talk you was talking? You dirty little rugrat. You're a dirty little meerkat rugrat. And now we're going to put you to the test. And he will use that credit. He will use that credit. And you will allow him to use that credit, you dirty little cashier. Dirty, dirty girl. So, okay. Yeah. He loves that. Some of them really love to entertain that in case the opportunity arises. But let's not mistake this point here. Yes, opportunities may arise, but he will always, always have an eye for something local. He will always try to look for something a little more real for him if that's what he's in pursuit of at the time. So, yeah, he may be talking to you, but he is keeping his eye out locally and really looking. He's really not that committed long distance like that. Now, this is the beginning stages. This is in most cases. This is not all cases. It's not all cases. I would tell you what I see more than what I see less, and that's definitely what I see more of. Now, before I go and list the pros of long distance, which there are very few, let's be honest with ourselves. I need you guys to understand that the link, again, I'm going to restate this. The link, if you want to call in tonight to the show, the call in show, and yes, we talk about dating. Yes, we talk about the situationship you're in, you can't get out of. Yes, we talk about better decision making. The link to that is pinned in the chat. That's the link. Guys, if you want to call in, the link is in the chat. It's pinned in the chat. You can't miss it. And there's also the same link is in the description. So you can't miss either one of them if you actually want to call in tonight. If you actually want this to be a productive night. I'm gonna have to start plugging in TikTok to my YouTubes. I'm gonna have to start plugging in TikTok to my YouTubes because we're just not getting it sometimes. Not getting it. But here are the pros. Long distance only works and is only a pro when there's serious interest on both parties, you and them. They have to be interested. They have to want to break. They have to want to break the barrier of physicality. And I don't mean you. I mean the physical geography problem that we're facing here. They have to want to close that gap. They have to want to cross state lines. They have to want to visit the other country, which God forbid, but it happens. It happens. They actually have to want to make a plan. If they're keeping you on hold for 2-3 months at a time, not knowing when you're not going to see them next, huge issues. Huge issues, honestly. A lot of wasted time. And let me tell you something for all the ladies in here that don't understand. Men can do that. And a lot of them have different timetables depending on what life phase you're in. A lot of them see no downside in letting this thing play out for another year. Now you'd say, well, why? Because they don't have the same brain as you. They don't think like you. Socially, they're not the same as you. They've been conditioned very differently than you, and biologically, very different than you. So, that being said, yeah, they play a little bit slightly of a different game when it comes to this long distance thing. One that I don't think you're willing to play. A lot of time could be wasted on your end. That's a fact. That's a fact. So the only pro to long distance, let's talk about it. The only pro to long distance is if they're willing to close the gap. If they're willing to close the gap, listen, I wouldn't even call it a pro. I misspoke on that. The only realistic manner a long distance can work is if somebody's willing to make that travel and they're willing to do it often, or both parties are actually willing to do it often. If that's not happening, if it's just a little chatter batter, if you're just Chad GPT in this thing, dare I say, you're wasting a lot of time here. A lot of time that you could be spending locally before this whole internet journey happened and got you down a rabbit hole of Raya. Oh, but I met this really hot dude on Raya. Yeah, he's just committing to you. Just you. You and only you. He lives in LA and you're in Wisconsin. And he's just about Jenna from Wisconsin. God, he cannot wait to go visit her. Yeah. He's got 10 of other reviews. One in Saudi Arabia, one in Sweden, one in Brazil, one in Mexico, and one in London. Welcome to the line. Get in. Therefore, I don't really think it's really a good part of your time to be putting into this. Do you? Guys like the video? Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, you got to want to move. You got to want to move. You know, some people, and I'm not talking about right off the bat, but you got to be able to think about, would I even want to integrate my life into that city, or would I want somebody to integrate their life into this city? But I'm all for taking risks. I'm all for taking risks. But understand something. Risks, yeah, great risks come with great reward, but none of you are taking really great risks. It's not having something long distance just to talk to, a talk buddy is not a risk. That's de-risking it. And some of you play it so safe that you don't know which way to navigate from here. You don't know which way to go out of this one. You've messed this one up. And then we get into a beautiful thing we call situationships, because it just continues to roll over, rover, sit, shake, kiss. Sit, shake, kiss. Mm. And he's thinking about going to that city, and he's saying to himself, let me get some Jenna salt, pepper, ketchup. Let me get some Jenna salt, pepper, ketchup, please. Please. Extra, extra honey on the side. Do you want that? I didn't think you would. I didn't think you would. I didn't think you would. And before I touch my next topic, which I do have a next topic, I don't really know if you're ready for, but I do have a next topic. Yeah, I'll answer some questions in the chat while yeah, spaghetti and waffle. That's true. That's true. Shout out to LC. Yeah, spaghetti and waffle. That's the difference between the brain and how the brain thinks and operates socially more than anything else, is that men bucket things. And sometimes these long distance things are just buckets for them. It's easy. You don't understand the ketchup mayo relish thing. Well, I didn't say ketchup mayo relish. What I said was salt, pepper, ketchup. You know, you know how you used to order a sandwich, bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. I mean, come on, who doesn't do that? Who didn't get? Let me get the bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. Okay, fine. Would you understand this one? Let me get a Jenna egg and cheese. How about that? That make more sense to you? Thank you. All right, guys. If you want to call in before I hit my next topic, you must hit the link in the chat. It's pinned in the chat. You can't miss the chat. The link is pinned in the chat, and it's also pinned in the description if you want to call in. Just giving you a heads up there. Next time is the way we're going to run this thing. I want you to understand something. The idea of dating has been pushed down our throats as very Disney. And the idea of dating in itself, and the way the media's covered it, and the way it's covered in today's world through all these articles and this and that, is extremely divisive. And the more you buy into this propaganda BS, the worse dating gets for you. The worse you see dating without even experiencing it. The worse you put people in categories, including men that you've never met. The worse it gets. Why? You would say, well, why would they do this? Why would this be something that they care so much about? Because everybody benefits from you being single. All industries benefit. People in certain positions always benefit. You get taxed twice. I work you twice as hard, twice the tax, twice the groceries, twice the car, twice the bills, twice the mortgage, all the good shit. That's how economy's built. This is what capitalism is about. It's about you. I want as much as I can get from you. And I'm not going to get all that much if you couple up and start buying things together. Groceries. What do you mean we're getting groceries together? What do you mean you're getting your own place together? Together? Well, that's not good. We don't like that. How's the beauty industry going to make all our money? Come on. How are we going to sell our shit, man? How are we going to sell our stuff if you're comfortable? If you got everything you need, we can't do that. We have to make you feel as insecure as possible, and we have to put as much fear as into you as we possibly can. That's how we keep you buying. You're the buying power. That's who you are. You are the purchasing power of all industries. Couple them all up, put them all together. That's who you are. So as long as we can keep you, the consumer, not the producer, the consumer, every industry wins. Every industry will win with that. But the more people that couple up, the more people that want to save, that want to start families, that want to get together, that don't want to go out and don't really care as much about these things, that creates a problem for our industries. Naturally. Naturally. We got to find other ways to make money because we ain't making it from you. So we got to go target the people that we can make it from. And if the more people we can target, the more we can make. Duh. Our customer base isn't just this. Our customer base is half the country. Full country. Which one? So I say this. Why do I say this? I say this to let you know that some of us has been sold these crazy, crazy dreams, these crazy realities that don't exist, this crazy divisiveness program, a program that divides. It by nature, it divides. So when you see new articles come out, top things the boyfriends are doing to their girlfriends. Here's a new term called slugger muster. That's when a guy does. Duh, 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 duh. And you notice I've never went on any of these programs. You know, I used to get pitched a lot to say, oh, you want to come talk about this new thing we call, it's not ghosting anymore. It's Barney a bail. Whatever. Some nonsensical BS to invoke more fear. Notice how I don't talk about these new trends. Oh, here's the new dating thing that went on. It's not ghosting anymore. It's called something different. You need to take a sit down and hush, pup, because we've had enough of your BS. All your talking, all that cloud nonsense, it doesn't work. And that's why I don't entertain those topics, because they don't make any difference. They don't actually add good secureness to the dating pool. They don't add that kind of security. They add fear. It's just another thing to fear. So I don't talk about those things because they don't add to the overall cause. And the overall cause over here is helping people couple up. The overall cause over here is getting people what they want. And it isn't more fear, and it isn't more divisiveness. And that's why I always say I'm sick of you. I'm sick of you for bringing this up. I'm sick of you for listening to everything else that's purely doing nothing but benefiting from you. Because that's really what you are. Added benefits. Added benefits. Oh, yes. See, I've already went on my rant for 20 minutes. I will take a couple questions in the chat if you want to do so right now. I will answer your questions. You give me a topic and I will go on my rant. See, this is what part of it I like. I love the community. So if you guys want to add in questions here or you want to call in, that's up to you. I'm going to give you a second before I go on my next topic. I got topics, pal. I got topics. My next topic is intimacy, and we're going to be talking about intimacy. That's right. That's right. But if you would like to, I'm going to give you a moment. You can ask your questions in the chat, or you can call into the show. As I see. All right. Sarah asked a question. She says, do you have any dating advice for widows trying to get back out there? Yes. Yes, I do. Now, let me tell you something. Let me start off by saying being a widow is a very difficult position to be in, and I'm sorry that you're in that position at the moment, regardless of how it happened. You got to be a little bit careful. You're coming from a very vulnerable place. And that level of vulnerability to some, which is very few actually, can be taken advantage of. Because we do know that kind of sorrow is can be misled. And if you are a widow out here entering, you have to understand it's no one's going to compare against whom you just had in your life. Almost impossible. No one's going to compare. So that's difficult. Difficult position to be in when you're trying to judge everybody against who you had previously. And that's really hard. So you need to take some time off if you haven't already. If you lost somebody, and if you lost a partner or a husband or a wife, and you're just starting to get back into dating, make sure you've taken enough time to really process just you. And yes, memories and going through the whole soaking it in grieving stage, because that's a really big deal before you get out here. And number two is you got to take it slow. You got to take it slow. You can't be moving too fast. And I know some people just say, I just want to get out here and just start moving. Listen, I understand meeting people and doing all the things. If you want to do that, that's fine. But in terms of emotionally getting involved in other people, that has to be taken a little bit slower because you are at a vulnerable place. And at a vulnerable place, you tend to make decisions that could be a little skewed. You tend to make decisions that are not necessarily thoroughly thought through because of the level of vulnerability you have. And I hope this answers your question. Yeah. Is it wrong? Wait, my question, is it wrong if I only want to date wealthy women? Rick, no, it isn't wrong. That's your choice. You want to date wealthy women? That's your choice. Um, it's not wrong if ladies, you want to date wealthy men, go ahead. That's on you. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. Yep, Vogue wrote um an article, having a boyfriend is embarrassment. Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is. Tass, wait, I'm gonna call you Tass. She says, or I can't see who it is. Like Vogue writing, having a boyfriend is embarrassment, so women stay single more. Um, yeah, I mean, listen, there's always been a thing to keep women more single because they are the buying power of our nation for sure. They hold the majority of the debt. We can go into details about where that debt is coming from, but either way, and they have the purchasing power. So they have the consumer power. They purchase more. That goes for real estate and housing, as you're starting to see. That goes for beauty. We don't have to get into that. I think we already know that. We can understand that. But yeah, I mean, it's not just about women. It's about men too. By the way, it's not just about women. It's about having both people divided. I mean, just think about it. Why don't you put yourself in that position of any industry that you can think of? Is it better to have people that are alone, looking always for somebody? Or is it better to have people that are coupled? Do you think they spend more, or do you think people that are alone tend to spend more on anything, really? You have your answer right there. You got your answer right there, man. Ashley had a question too. Well, where is it? Where's Ashley's question? I'm sorry, I can't roll up. You know what I mean? And now we're going to talk about intimacy. Yeah, guys, like the video. That's what I need you guys to do. I need you guys to like the video before anything. Just like the video because I'm going to go on intimacy because this is a very important topic for many of you. This is always another very, very common question I get. And it's about intimacy. Timing, when is right, should they not? So this is gonna be a broad stroke for me, but it might be worth it. Guys, I'm telling you again, for those of you that just came in, if you want to call in, you got to hit the link in the chat. It's pinned in the chat. My link to call into the show is pinned in the chat. It's also pinned in the description. I have to keep saying it because new people come in and I want to let them know. And I think there's also a platform I could plug in my TikTok so I can call in from TikTok and put it live on YouTube, but I'm gonna work on that. So that's next time. It's been two. All right, what was Ashley's? Ashley asked how corn impacted dating relationships. Oh, I mean, of course it did, right? I mean, I don't even think that's debatable. Corn absolutely has. Because it gave access to what is perceived to be intimacy, it gave them into men's hands. So therefore, they said to themselves, "Well, instead of me going out here embarrassing myself, or getting shut down, or dealing with an ungrateful girl or an entitled girl or whatever however they want to see the dating thing. Instead of me doing that, I could just do my quick fix and work on and keep building myself up and get this little fix out the way. So yeah, and that and in nature that becomes very addictive because it seems to them like they have their out. I think that speaks for itself. So yeah, of course it ruins dating and it ruins intimacy. It ruins the courtship phase of dating. It ruins the ability for men. Yeah, it de-risks all things. It does this. This is what it does. I think we know this though. All right. Let's go into intimacy. Let's go into intimacy. Now I get the same question a lot, actually. And a lot of women think that if I get intimate with him, he won't like me anymore. Now, I know that that's not the case, but I can understand why you believe that is the case because maybe some of your experiences prove to you that when you get intimate with a guy and he ends up leaving. But I want to make a clear distinction between correlation and causation. What you just described is definitely a correlation. You maybe sleep with them and there's a 50-50 chance that he either stays and likes you or the other 50% is that he bounces. But that's not a causation. It's not because you were intimate with him. He said, ugh, chase is over. I don't like her anymore because she did that. I don't think you understand how many couples I've spoken to and how many couples I know personally. And I understand from my own personal experience that there's plenty of people they sleep with on the first night. Now, I'm not telling you this is a good idea. I'm just saying there's plenty of people that sleep with each other on the first night that said, wow, I really love that. But they're great, amazing. I can't wait to see them again. That happens quite often, actually. Maybe not for you, maybe not for your situation. But intimacy on its face value is, yes, more risky for you, ladies. I think that goes without saying. It's more riskier for you. So you need to choose a little bit better about who and when you allow something like this to happen with. And after the first date, the reason why I don't say anything about first date is because you don't know if they like you. So you're doing it because you want to, and he probably wants to, I'm sure. That's why he's there. But you don't know if he likes you like that. And the risk is much higher for you. The risk is 9 months for you. Now you can argue the same risk for him. It's not the same risk. Different risks, but not the same. So you should be a little bit more selective on this. But I always say, and I've always said it before, and I'm going to say it again, that if you have a natural fear, as there's no problem with having the fear of being intimate, but if you do have that fear of being intimate, understand that you don't get intimate with any guy if that's the case until you've gotten to a point where he's in your eyes, you're okay with this potentially failing. Now, if you never get to that point, then you never get to that point. But you have to understand, you only get intimate when you feel like you have enough power to say, I want to do this because I want to do it. If it fails, if it falls through the cracks, if it doesn't work out, that's okay. It was all worth it. Because he's proven himself. I like him. He's shown up. He's been consistent enough with me that this is what I want with him. And that's that. If you don't feel that way, then you don't sleep with any guy. Because at some point you're going to bring it back up and you're going to say, well, I knew I shouldn't have. He did this. He messed it up. He let it go. No, you reason why you don't like sleeping with him because it gives up your leverage early on. You feel vulnerable. You feel like you lost something and he gained something. Now, that's not fully true. That kind of intimacy is an exchange. But your perspective is fair for you to have that, which is you feel like you're giving up something. The leverage does change. It does. It changes for a variety of reasons. One of those reasons is because when a guy is on a date with you, the reason a guy goes on a date with you in the first place is because he wants that to be on the table. Not necessarily that night, but he wants it to be as a possibility because that's what he's thinking about. And sometimes guys go quite some time with thinking, do I like her? But why am I thinking of my other head? Why does my other head keep bumping me in and say, yeah, but so he becomes a little more agreeable. He's doing things for you. He's doing all these things for you. That's his subconscious other head talking sometimes. about, oh yeah, make her feel comfortable. Da, 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 da. So sometimes, I'm not saying all the time, sometimes after moments of that happening, you will realize who this guy truly is post the fact after that happened. Whether it's right or wrong, just is what it is. You will realize who this dude really is after that happens. More coming back to you. I'm going to call you in, Ashley. Let's get to it.
Hello.
Ashley,
Hey, Danny.
how you doing? I'm assuming that you want to be off camera because right now you're off camera.
Oh yeah, I can be off camera.
Okay, whatever you prefer. All right, Ashley, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Maryland. I called in last week as well. I was frying chicken, talking about the long distance situation.
That's right. That's right. You were. You were. Okay. You and how old are you again?
I'm 39.
All right. What you got for us?
Okay, so your advice to me was to basically have a direct conversation with the guy. He was long distance. We met 2 months ago, and we've seen each other twice. And so I had the conversation. I basically asked him, how did he feel about me and this situation. Well, I started off by saying something because he was making like little comments about like me moving there, but it was very in a joking manner. And I was like, I don't know why you're saying that because you're not serious. And I asked him like, are you okay with us just FaceTiming and that's it? And he was like, no, I'm not okay with it. And I said, well, you don't ever talk about, us seeing each other in person. And so he was like, well, when we were at breakfast, we talked about it. And I said, yeah, we did, but it was because I brought it up and you have not mentioned it since. And so basically, because the last time I think you thought I was rambling too much. So basically, the gist of it is he told me that he really feels like I just kind of landed in his lap. He wasn't really looking for anything when he was on the dating app because we met on a dating app and that, but I have all of the qualities of someone who he would want to be with, but the issue is the distance, obviously. He does not know how to make that work. He's thinking about finances. He's thinking about, our children traveling back and forth, all of the things. Um, and basically there was no solution. There was no like I would like to try to make this work. It was pretty much left open, like him expressing all the things that he really do likes about me, but the distance is an issue. He doesn't know what to do with the distance.
All right.
And
How many?
I called in because I heard at the beginning your little
Yep.
monologue and you were talking about long
Yep.
distance.
Yep.
Yes.
So okay. How many times have you seen him again? Remind me.
I've
I'm
seen
forgetting.
him 2 times.
2 times. And how long ago was the last time?
The last time was around 4th of July.
Right. So because you had this conversation, now what did you say to him? Tell me what
I
you said to
told him,
him.
I told him that, you know, that I really liked him. I liked our connection, and I don't take it lightly because it's not often that I feel like this about someone or that I feel like connected to someone the way that I feel about him. I told him that because he was talking about like money, like having to come here and then having to have a hotel and then, paying for a flight. So I told him like if he were to come here, he could stay with me. So that would take, the financial burden off of one thing. I also told him because my job is flexible, I work from home, I can work from anywhere, I have more flexibility to come there.
And what did he
Um,
say to that specifically?
Nothing. He was just kind of like, okay. He didn't like nothing really. He was just like, okay,
Exactly.
yeah,
See, what you did was you put everything forward. You said, "Well, I could do this, I could do that. We have this going for us." And he was just like, "Well, I just don't know how to make that work."
yeah.
Do you read between that line?
Yes, I do. It
Okay.
was no solutions. It was no moving it forward. It was no.
Right. And it's, it's all things combined. It's not just that he has a lack of interest in you. He obviously likes you to a degree.
Mhm.
It's all things. It's the money issue. It's all these
Yeah.
things, and then making a long distance thing work. Now, if you wanted to let this thing play out, that's your choice. But if you're
Mhm.
going to let it play out with expectations of it going to the place where it more than likely won't go, but you'd like it to go, that's a different conversation.
No, like I feel like I'm just going to take a step back.
There you go. I mean, what else could you do?
Nothing.
Well, there you go. And that's what you should do,
Yeah.
because he's kind of trying to let you know as easy and as light as possible that he likes you a lot. And these are the great qualities I like about you. Da, 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 da,
Mhm.
da. But I don't see
Yeah.
long distance working. Therefore, everything I said before this didn't really matter that much.
Right.
They
Exactly.
mattered. They mattered, just not enough to get the hump that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So, you
Yeah,
know
it's
how it
just
goes.
really yeah, it's really frustrating because like I said, I have been keeping my options open here. Like I've been dating, I've been talking to other people, all of the things. And I don't be liking these dudes.
Yeah, but you don't like these dudes. Okay, fair enough. I can make the argument the other way around, is that maybe the one of the bigger reasons why you like him is because you're not integrated in his life yet. It's all still an idea. It's really what it
Yeah.
is. That's what long
It's
distance is.
nothing
And some people get addicted to long distance, as you heard my rant.
yeah. It's nothing concrete.
It's not concrete, but that's the appeal of it for a lot of people.
Yeah. It is because I I like space. I like space in a relationship. I've done long distance before, but it wasn't like that like flight. It was like 2 hours and a drive, but this would be a 2 hour flight, a 2.5 hour flight.
Yeah, some people
Um,
like it because it's fairy tale still.
yeah. So
Okay,
thank you,
well, I
thank you for your
appreciate.
advice. I mean, I put it out there like you said, and now I have clarity. Even in the things that he didn't say, have
Correct.
given me
And that's what you
clarity.
should have done. At long distance, you have to be more clear, not less.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, Ashley. Well, hope it works
Thank
out for you.
you.
You need to check these local dudes, man. I don't know why you keep going over here and all the way down.
These local dudes, I don't know what's wrong with these local dudes. They don't know how to be consistent. The conversation sucks. Like, ugh.
All right. Well, they're probably thinking, well, I don't know what's wrong with this girl, Ashley. She's talking to some dude over in another state, thinking that he's gonna marry her, and I can't even get a date with her.
Perhaps.
She's talking to Aladdin all the way over in Texas. I can't even get a date. I'm next to her. I'm next door to her,
I'll go on dates, and I'm just like,
and that's a
ugh,
problem
okay. What?
that you don't go on dates.
No, I said I do go on
Oh,
dates,
you
and
do
then
go on dates.
I'm underwhelmed.
When was the last date you went on?
I went on 2 dates this week. I went on a date yesterday, and I went on a date Friday.
All right. Who'd you like more?
The one from yesterday.
All right. And what happened with him?
He's just too young. Number one, I will still talk to him and stuff because I think he'll be a good time, but I don't see anything serious with him. He's too young. Um,
How young?
10 years younger. He's 29. I'm 39.
So he took you out hoping for some pancakes.
I don't know what he was hoping for. That's what you think? You always say that. You always say the younger guys, that's all they want.
Uh, he's 29 and you're 39 and you got kids.
Yes, a kid.
Right. Sorry, a
That's
kid.
not
And I'm
that
just saying,
that's not that much younger than him.
yeah, great. Bring him over. Maybe he can get along with them.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, so that's why that won't be anything. And then the other guy that I went out with, he was just very creepy.
Very
So
creepy. Okay.
yeah, kept asking me for a kiss, trying to get me to come to his house. The conversation was boring, but then he kept saying, "I really like you. I really like you." Like, what do you like about me? We're not even talking about anything.
So he was trying to get you back to the place, and you were like, no.
Yes, and then he asked me for a kiss like twice. Like
How old was he?
I think he's 37, 38.
He asked you for a kiss. He didn't just go in and kiss.
I wasn't gonna kiss him anyway.
All right, so that's over with. All right. Well, girl, come on. You gotta date locally. Come on, I'm telling you right now. These long distance things are gonna get in your way of you.
I know, but it was just so magnetic. It was just fireworks. Our conversations are amazing. He's so intellectual. The way that he talks to me is communication. I know he's not doing anything with the distance, so it's a done deal. But the connection that I feel like we have is what is attracting me to him. So, and he's fine as hell.
Ashley, you have a good night. All right. You just enjoy your night. I've had enough, but you have a good night, girl. Appreciate you. Shout out to Ashley. Callie, girl, I'm gonna get you in right now. Hello.
Hello.
Hi. How are you doing?
Doing well. Yourself?
Nice. Very good. Very good. Cool. Cali girl. I assume you're from Cali.
Absolutely.
Nice. What part?
Los Angeles.
Okay. Cool. And how old?
I am 47.
Cool. Okay. What you got for us?
I am recently reconnecting with an ex of mine. We broke up about 6 years ago, right before COVID.
I think something's over in front of your mic. Can you just
How about now?
better?
Okay. I'm recently reconnecting with an ex of mine.
Mm-hmm.
We broke up right before COVID. And he recently said that he was making comments about during our relationship and some of the things that he wished would have happened. And so we have been texting a lot, lots of TikTok video, Reels, Instagram, FaceTime, all of the things, but not making any plans. So recently I told him that this pen pal thing is getting a little old. And then he said, frankly, I'm afraid to see you. Because you know what that might mean. And I kind of digged a little bit. I don't know what that, I was like, what do you mean? You know what that means? So, yeah, I just don't know how much more to say or how much to keep pushing, or he's grown enough. He's 48. He has full-blown career. I have a full-blown career. So the last thing I said was, hey, this pen pal thing seems like it's getting a little old. If this is something that you want to pursue, I'd be down to see you in person. Let me know if you change your mind. And I just kind of left it at that. And now it's been about a month and I'm like, oh, I haven't heard from I just don't know how much to say or if there's anything else to say.
All right. You know what? I love this topic because this is typical. You know, this type of situation happens often.
Okay.
But do you have any kids, by the way?
We do not know. Neither him or I.
Okay. There's nothing else you can do at this point, as you know. I think you already did exactly what I would have probably told you to do.
Okay, great.
You did exactly what I told you to do. Now, if he didn't act on that, I don't know what the reason is. We have no idea. Maybe he's seeing somebody he didn't want to tell you about. I don't know. There's something hesitating, and maybe he's saying, "Oh, I'm afraid to." I don't know. But either way, you did all you can do. Nothing else to do.
Perfect.
Nothing
Well,
else to
thank you,
do.
Benny.
All right. Well, I appreciate you, Callie girl. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
She did. Listen, let me tell you something. She did all she can do. She did all she can do. See, if you have a guy coming back into your life and he's just texting you or just into your life for the first time, either way, right? He came back in, so he knew her a little bit better, but either way, very similar scenario in terms of the process this should go. So the scenario means that if someone's just going to sit there and text you, go back and forth and send you reels and everything, but doesn't do anything about it, you have to act, you do just what she did. And I'll give her credit for that because she did the right thing. She put her best foot forward. She made herself vulnerable, but also honest. And that level of vulnerability and honesty can push people out that aren't ready to deliver the same. They're not ready for whatever reason. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So she went back. She did that right. She did that right. You know, I ain't gonna lie. Betting way more serious. I'm not more serious. I don't think I'm more serious on here. I think that TikTok, I don't know, in its nature, the thing with TikTok is people come in with different things on TikTok. They don't come in with the same things on YouTube. I've realized that. And part of it is they're too self-conscious about it being replayed. You know, on TikTok, I never replayed them. So they can just come in one time, it's done, it's never done. But here, people have hesitation here. That's part of the big one. That's part of the big reason. They're hesitating. They're pump faking here. They're saying, "Should I? I don't know. I don't want to be saying." Even though you don't have to show camera, you don't have to put your name, but people are. They just are. They just are more reserved. Or else, people come in with some crazy stuff over on TikTok. They don't come in with the craziest shit over here. They come in with different things, but it's not crazy. It's not like the things you're gonna hear on TikTok. Like, oh, I went over there and smacked him down with my big ass wonton. They don't talk like that here for some reason. You know what I mean? Yeah, y'all. So listen, if you want to call into the stream, come with your crazy stuff. Come in with your not crazy stuff. It don't matter. And in the meantime, I will take questions in the chat. Before if anybody wants to call in, you know where the link is. The link is in the chat. It's pinned at the top. It's also in the description. You can remain anonymous. That's true. So if you want to call in, you can remain anonymous. You don't have to put your real name. Obviously, she came in with Cali Girl. Well, that's what I said. The modern poor. That's what I was That's what I was implying. But you can remain anonymous here. It's all that. But go ahead. You can ask your questions in the chat too. Don't matter to me. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it anyway. I wanted to give this moment for everybody here to step in and call in. That's why I wanted to do these. I do these because I want to answer directly. This is a new platform for me, so I'm still learning the intricacies of YouTube and how to use it, why to use it, all the fun ways. But TikTok is fun. It is fun. It is more. I am a little bit more. I don't want to call it performative. I want to call it. I am more direct in a different type of way on TikTok because of the things I mentioned. That's true. But also, too, people come differently there. I kind of tend to match energy more than not. You're gonna come over here. No, I'll give it to you that way too. I'll give it to you that way too. Yeah. Go ahead, y'all. You can ask them in the chat. Go ahead. Yeah, I do joke more on TikTok. That's true. That's true. That's true. That's true. Mm-hmm. 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 We've been together since high school. Oh, that was Mary. Sorry. Right. Guys, can you just give me a favor here? Did we finish the intimate discussion? No, we didn't. I'm gonna get back to it. But guys, like the live for me. That's what I'm asking you to do. Listen, I'm gonna Teresa. So I'm going back to the intimacy conversation. We're going back to right now. Here's the thing. I'll get to yours too, Mary. But Teresa, how do you vet somebody serious? How do you vet? Hold on, sorry. How do we vet for someone serious for the most part? I get have to be okay with the outcome. Yeah, listen, serious is a part of the conversation, but understand something. Early on, nobody's really understanding who's that serious. Nobody knows. You know through action, you know through over time. See, it's funny. It can go either way. A guy can come in and, oh, he's doing the most here. That doesn't mean he's serious about you. Matter of fact, it means he's not that serious about you. Oh, he's doing the most. He's buying flowers, doing all this, doing all this. He's doing all that to get the cookie, pal. He's doing all that for a cookie. You think he's just doing it? No, he's doing it for the cookie. And then you turn around and call it love bombing. So seriousness only occurs over time. If he really gets to know you, he has to really like you. He has to like you, not what you resemble, not what you look like, not what you wear. He has to like you enough. That's how you know he's serious. And the point that I'm trying to make to this intimacy topic is you will know very fast how much, or if a guy really likes you, if he stays consistent with you after Seggies. After Seggies and he's consistent with you, it means he likes you. And yes, that could fuck up too. That could mess up. Of course it can. But that means he likes you because he's already gotten to that point. He's already been in the back of his mind, is already pursuing the cookie. He's going on for the cookie here. Even though he likes you, but in the back of his mind, his other head is like, yeah, but I want to try that. It's something new. She's fun. She's really cute. She's whatever, fucking whatever. That back of the head there is talking like that. But once he gets that from you, because it's a level of intimacy, by the way, it's not just about conquering you. A lot of women think that it's, oh, they just want, that's not it. That's something you ladies have wrong. For some it is, but for most it's not. For most, it's sharing a level of intimacy because that is really, honestly, that's probably the most vulnerable men can be in terms of from their emotional state and how they express themselves to the people that they actually kind of like, really like, or in love with, whatever the case may be. That's how they express it. And they crave that. You know, their cycles, let me remind you, ladies, their cycles are 24 hours. Every 24 hours, he has a new factory of sperm created. Boom. And it's pumping to him. And I'm convinced that ladies, if you ladies were men, you'd be absolute pigs. You'd be worse than the men that you see today. I mean, like he's a dog. You'd be an absolute cocker spaniel. You'd be an absolute poodle on steroids. You'd be a terrible human being potentially. You'd be a terrible human being at some point. I ain't gonna lie to you. I just wish you had the feeling so you can understand. I get why he's acting. I totally get it. Totally get it. It's hard. Not impossible. I'm just saying it's hard for you to understand the other side. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And yeah, it's harder for men to understand too. That's why they don't, and that's why you don't. But that's the gap of learning here. So what I'm saying to you is that yes, you have to be okay with the outcome either way. Of course, the only way to know somebody is serious is if they're consistent enough in the behavior towards you. And by the way, how long? It's not necessarily about the waiting game. I know many of you are going to say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to wait 3 months and da 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 da." Listen, you can do all these little tips and tricks, things that you want to do, but I want to let you know that doesn't guarantee him staying around because you waited 3 months. He might be interested in you, but let me tell you something about this. If you wanted to wait your time, that's okay. It's all about how it's communicated. But if he gets a sense that you're holding out and playing a game with him for his money, time, and resources, he will play you back. And he will leave after he gets what he wants. And you can mark that. And guys understand what that means when I say this. And any guys in the chat will understand what I mean when I talk about this. If he feels like he's getting played by you, some guys will go along to the beat of the drum. Some guys already know. Like, yeah, I already know what she's doing. She's doing it on purpose. She's holding out. And she's holding out like this. And she's doing it with an attitude in an entitled way. She has an entitled manner to her. That being the case, fine. I'll keep entertaining her. I'm going to entertain somebody else too, by the way, because she's not my end all be all. So if she's going to play this game with me, okay, we'll see how she plays when I get what I want. And there's no more game to be played. There's no guilt when he gets what he gets. Men are human beings. They have guilt. And when you're honest and forthcoming up front, and when you're vulnerable and you let them know what your concerns are or why you fear what you fear, or you're just, you just don't want it to get to that point because you're really trying to take this part of your life seriously and this is important to you, then he has the guilt for leading you down that path and letting you go. There's guilt there. And he's much less likely to do that to you. He's much less like he's more likely to respect where you're coming from and say, you know what, I respect that. If she's that type of girl, if she's got some class, some niceness to her, some good character, that type of girl, then I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to wait this one out because I like her. And I like the way she handled that with me. I like her communication. I like the way she came at me. That was hot. And I respect her a lot for it. And I'm going to cherish that level of vulnerability that she has because it's hot. It's like a purity thing. At least the way she communicated it was. It's like a purity thing. Now, the opposite is also very true, like I just said. You can do the same thing. You can want the same thing, but your communication along the way of how you communicate it with your body language, with your attitude, with your entitlement, with your you ain't going to get this till this, that right there will get you screwed over. Almost 100% guarantee. Almost 100% guarantee. Yeah. The minute you keep going back and forth on this, oh, you have to wait for this. You have to do like you that all that. Oh, he's going to show you how all that you are. He's going to take all that and he's going to bounce. You be left there with nothing, nada. Because as much as you don't like to hear this, ladies, this is just the honest truth. You don't control the relationship side of this thing. And that's what these kind of games, that's where these games will bite you in the ass. That's where these games will bite you in your ass. You only, this beginning part you do. You control who you allow to take you out and intimacy, of course. Those are all very much in your control and it feels like you have the power and you are very powerful there. I understand. But when it gets to relationship side, you don't control that. The man does. Nobody likes to hear that. They all want to say, oh, why you got to say, just is what it is, man. And that's why there has to be a give and take. That's why your power has to go down. There's no other choice because you have to have humility. You have to give up things, some aspect. Yeah, you do. There's a level of vulnerability. There's honesty. There's forthcoming. There's all these things that you're going to have to give up because you're also looking for somebody else to buy into this and commit. Right? Where's your customer at? It's not just about you getting everything you want. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. I know you want all the leverage, but you're going to have to lose. You lose that leverage. It's just not something you like to hear. But it's inevitable. This is what happens. When you want the guy and you put the burden of performance on the guy, at some point he gets all that leverage back. All right. Let's go down to the questions in the chat. Benny, can you provide an example on how you would ask your partner about sexual health test results? Yeah, listen. You say partner. I don't know if you mean somebody in a relationship with or somebody that you're just seeing, whatever. But yeah, listen. No shame in that game if that's what you want to do. All you got to do is say, hey, listen, I take this part of my life very seriously. I've had a couple scares in the past, and whatever the deal is. Maybe you want to leave that one out. Maybe leave the scare part out. That was a mistake on my part. But what you can do is just say, listen, I take this part of my life seriously, and I do take my sexual health pretty seriously. So, if you would get tested, I'll get tested, so we're on the same page about that. That's it. Not crazy. No, yeah, take out the that was a rant that went way left. Take out the past. Don't mention the past. Don't mention the past. Let's go to Vic. 1 month dating, female 37, and he's 34. I'm insecure about the age gap. Also, I'd like to have children soon. Next year? Question mark. My clock is a ticky. I know he wants kids, but will it be too soon for him? 37 and 34. Now, here's the thing. That's not that big of an age gap, and that's not that the phase are pretty similar. They're not that far off. Yeah, it is taken, right? But you have to have honest conversations. Listen, you ladies have to actually have open and honest conversations. I don't know where he's at in his life. I don't know his life phase. I don't really know what he's doing. I don't know his trajectory. Because most of the time when men really want to get to that point where they want to start the next phase of their life, they have to be in a position at this point in his life. If you're already meeting him at 34, it's not like you met him at 21 and you guys built up together. When you meet him at 34, he's at 34. You have to understand where he's at in his life, where he sees the next trickle down coming from, where the next steps are coming in for him. What's more important to him? What's the time frames that would be ideal for him? And if you don't know that, you got to ask him. And by the way, ask him in a position where it has nothing to do with you. It doesn't have anything to do with you. Yeah, and it is too early to have kids, of course, 1 month early. But the point is, you need to be having these conversations. Of course, you should. Even in hypotheticals. Hypothetically, let's say you have met the girl of your dreams. At what point do you see yourself starting the next phase of your life, and whatever that may be? And you let him answer. That's how that goes. You know what I mean? Come on, bruv. 3-year difference, not an age gap. No, it's not really. It's not really. It's not an age gap per se. Again, it's about phase. It's about phase. Like that's the difference. It's a phase thing. If she was 25 and he was 22, different phase. Different phase. Different phase. There's a lot, guys. Yes, if anybody wants to call into the show tonight, you have to click that link in the chat. It's pinned. It's a StreamYard link. You're going to see it clearly. It's also pinned in the description of the video. So if you want to call in, you hit that link, you enter the backstage here, and then I will select you to come up on board. You do not have to show your face, and you don't have to use your real name if you don't want to. That's totally up to you. But if you do want to call in, you got to hit that link that I pinned. It's a StreamYard link. You're going to see it. It's pinned. It means you can't miss it, damn thing. You get the point, pal. You get the freaking point, Pop. All right. Somebody asked another question. Wait. Listen, I have no reason to lie to you up here, bro. Is 6 months too soon to get past the honeymoon phase? What do you mean honeymoon phase? You in a honeymoon phase? No, it's not too soon. The honeymoon phase is honeymoon for a reason. It's short-lived. No, you want to get out of that as soon as possible. Honeymoon phase is just honeymoon phase. It's fairy tale, fairy dust stitch. Very dusties. Yeah, y'all, listen, I'm answering, Shout out to Vicosis, whatever it was. Yeah, I can answer some things in the chat. Listen, here's the thing. I understand finding and choosing people as difficult as it is. But I understand there's no guarantees here. This is the process you get into when it comes to dating. This is what it is. Okay? There's no getting around the tough conversations. There's no getting around the difficulty. There's no getting around trying to assess and understand if somebody's serious or not. This is a part of the game you enter. And once you realize that everybody's playing this game because these are how you find somebody, there's no other way around it. The process has to occur. You can't escape the process, which means one thing is more truer than not. You must fall in love with this process. You must enjoy this process, because when you find joy in this process, you can actually get your outcome easier. You can find it better. It's called flow state. You got to get in flow state and have some fun here. If everything you do is dreading dating and dreading meeting people and always fear, this type of fear here, I'm telling you, is going to ruin your life. It ruins your fucking life in dating. People can't take you seriously at that point. It's infectious. It's infectious. You might approach a girl and ask her or flirt back now. You better, man. You better. And fellas, yeah, you got to go after what you want too. I don't even know why you're lacking, why you're hesitating. Hmm? Oh yeah, the zero jealousy. Um, the zero jealousy thing is this. All right, let's talk about jealousy. So here's the thing. When a guy is not jealous at all about what you do or doesn't really care, there's a difference, right? So yes, you want a guy to be a little protective. But if he's so not interested in anything you do, he's not worried about you leaving. He might even feel he can do better. Now, that does not mean that every guy that's not jealous at all. Now we're talking about at all. Right? It means that he doesn't mind you leaving at any point because he thinks he can do better. But no, being secure is one thing, right? It's all big spectrum, but being secure is a different conversation because there are plenty of secure guys out there who are very secure about what their girl does. He don't really, she's gonna do what she does, and she can report that to somebody else. I'm not gonna be stressing out about where she's going, who she's hanging out with, and all this other stuff. She's gonna tell me what she tells me, but I ain't gonna go really looking for all these problems because I don't need to be wasting my time thinking about this. But if things are happening and he sees them happen and he doesn't feel any which way about it, more than likely he thinks you got a catch, and he thinks he could do better. He thinks if this were to end, it don't matter. I'll find better because she's with a catch. Meaning he's serious, but he's not that serious. He's serious, but he ain't that serious. Yeah, of course, there's a little bit of difference between dating and marriage. Of course. He's married to you. He's married to you. Now, that could be a slippery slope. I've seen it go many different ways, but marriage means he's already committed to you, which means a variety of things. But I'm talking about just dating as a whole. Dating as a whole is that if he gets zero jealousy at all, zero interest, zero, then he's like, well, she's, I can go without her. I'll find somebody else. It's not that big of a deal. And that to me tells me that he has super abundance in his framework when he thinks about you. That's what that tells me. Territorial and being jealous are different things. That's true. This is true. But that's why the word jealousy in this context, I don't know in what way. If somebody were to give me an example of jealousy, and I would say, okay, I can give a better understanding from that. But if it's just the other one, you get the point. All right. All right. This is my last time. I explained the intimacy thing pretty well, I believe. I hope so. I went on 10 minutes rant about it, and then we had a quick call in, and then I went on another 10-minute rant. So, All right, let's go to Brianna's question. We went on 4 dates. We were intimate on the 4th date. We stopped talking because of distance. He drives. I don't. Do you think he just wanted intimacy? Is there any chance we try again? Okay, hold on. We went on 4. Let me read this again. We went on 4 dates. We were intimate on the 4th date. We stopped talking because of distance. Now, did you stop talking right after the 4th date? Or did you stop talking after? Some point after. He drives. I don't. Do you think we wanted intimacy? Is there any search? Listen, it's possible. He listen. He goes on 4 dates. He likes you to some degree. Did he say to himself, "Well, I like her, but not that much." After intimacy happened, because it is the distance, but I don't necessarily like her that much. That's possible. That's possible. Um, That's always possible. But I'd have to really listen. You'd have to call in. You'd have to call in. If you called in, I can walk you through this scenario. But there's information. See, when I get questions like this, I need answers to questions that I have that I can't offer in the chat. Now, I understand your situation because you're typing it in. If you would just call in using the link in the chat or using the link in the description, I can answer this. Oh, hello.
Hi.
You're back.
I'm back. Thanks for taking my call.
Okay, yeah. What's
I
going
was
on?
thinking, processing some of the things that you said, and I realized I gave you like the first chapter and the final chapter, and there was so much that happened in between, and I'm wondering if any of the seriousness of what we talked about in between would change your thoughts, or do you feel like the information I gave you, or is
Maybe.
that
I don't
not?
know. Maybe it depends what happened. I don't know.
Okay.
What happened?
Yeah, so when we were dating, he was
Mhm.
recently divorced, so I knew that he was scared about a lot of things. And then we were talking about marriage. And then after we broke up, and reconnected this last November, I think one of the things that stands out to me is he and I were both in very long-term relationships. Um, and the person that I was with, proposed to me and wanted to be married, and I just couldn't do it. And then, similar to him, he was with someone for a very long time and said he just couldn't do it. So we agreed that there was some sort of soul tie there. Clearly, I still care for him, and I love for him. I'm still able to date. I'm meeting people. It's not. I don't think either one of us has problem meeting people. Um, so that's maybe chapters 4, 5, and 9, like right in between. If any of those things affect or change some of your thoughts, I would just have been remiss and to go to bed without even at least bringing that up. And if it doesn't change your answer, I respect that.
Okay. Well, so what about the conversations you saying that you had that could change my answer?
The current ones or prior to our breakup?
Yeah. Wait, your breakup. When was your breakup? Maybe I'm confused.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Our breakup was right before COVID, 2019.
Okay. And then you reconnected in November and you
Yeah.
haven't seen him, right?
No, we had not seen each other. No.
R- Right. So you've been on this pen pal thing with him from November until now, right?
Right. Right.
That's a long time to be pen pals and somebody not wanting to see you, right?
Right. There was a couple of times where he's like, yes, 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 let's hang out. I'll be back in town. Da, 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 let's do this. And then it just doesn't happen. Um, Valid reasons. My sister was in the hospital, and then a couple weeks later his uncle died. Stuff happened. um and then it just didn't happen, so that's when I said what I said
And
about
then he
him.
just never responded to you.
Well, he did the little heart. He hearted my message. That's it.
Well, there you go. I mean, think about it, right? I understand, but like, what else could you do? I guess the same question I would ask, regardless of what happened after that, or between that, or before that.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
I don't think you could be living in a place right now where you have regrets of not doing something, right?
That is true. I do not
So,
have regrets.
so that's all that matters.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Appreciate it. Appreciate her. She was sweet. All right. Michelle says, I'm 32, recently divorced. I've had a hysterectomy. And a guy I was dating got upset that I didn't tell him sooner. Yeah. It's something that you probably want to mention a little bit sooner. Honestly. Yeah. I mean, isn't it not? How come you don't want to mention it? Hmm? Listen, it's a procedure, and I think people deserve to know a little bit. Sorry, I was just typing in text to somebody because I couldn't get on my phone. Um, it's a procedure that I think people should be acknowledged in early stage, especially if they depends on what people want. So I do think it's worth mentioning. You know what I mean? I do. I think it's worth mentioning early, especially if you're dating for those outcomes. Because, listen, think about it from the guy's perspective. He's like, yeah, I'm investing this time, but I want certain things. And now I know that I can't get them with you. Fair, right? So now he has to switch up. Now he's like, well, now I'm getting to know you. I like you. Now I can't have those things. Yeah, sure. You can say you don't want kids, but why beat around the bush? Why are you saying that? Because the thing is, right? Like you're going to say, okay, yeah, I don't want kids. And by the way, people should take you for your word. I don't disagree with that. But as you know, this is what you ladies do when guys say, I don't want to do this seriously. You think that sleeping with them is going to make him change his mind, don't you? Oh, and let's run this back. You're going to lie and tell them you don't want kids or omit information. But here's the thing. Let's say a guy tells you, I don't see this going anywhere. And you think sleeping with him is going to change his mind. I ain't going to lie to you, ladies. Most men don't want to adopt kids. Let's call it a spade a spade. Let's stop the cat. I know all you ladies want to save the world by adopting kids, but most guys don't want to adopt kids. I'm not saying that there's some that won't. I'm saying that most guys don't want that. They have zero interest in that if they can go the other route. If they can do the other thing, they don't really want to do that. They don't want to adopt kids. That's fair. I'm just being honest with you about it. I'm just being honest about it. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Great. I just want to let you know I love your show. You're hysterical.
I appreciate you. Leanne, where are you calling from?
I'm from Florida.
What part?
South Florida.
Okay,
Boynton
cool.
Beach. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess I enjoy your show because I'm 69 and I'm listening to some of these callers where it's just fascinating to hear what's going on. But my question tonight is, do you think it's a red flag that a man's never been married? I mean, older, like, 60 and's never been married.
Not necessarily. Now, if you say to me that he's never, lived with somebody else at that point, maybe I could say that.
Okay.
But marriage, I think many people feel differently about the actual institution of marriage. So I don't know, but I wouldn't if he said to me that he's never really had a long-term relationship, he's never lived with somebody, then yeah.
Then it might be a red flag.
Yes. But if you're saying he's
Okay.
just never been married just because he just never wanted to be married, and I don't know, that might be a little bit different. Is that the situation you're in?
No, but I have been in that situation before, and I've seen a lot of these guys online. There's a lot of men that's never been married, which I find older men that have never been married. I just find that fascinating.
Yes,
Especially in that.
well,
I mean, I'm 69, as I said, so I'm not talking about this generation that's coming up. By the time they're my age, that wouldn't surprise me. But you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. And 100%, right? And it's starting to morph and change, as people dive into their own relationship kind of frames that they want to do. But I would tell you, you're going to see the shift that you're going to hear that more from women in the next 30 years. You're going to see the thing go. You're going to hear women all the time say, "I've never married."
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
you're going to start hearing that too.
I think you're right. Yeah, it's a shame.
All right, Leanne. Appreciate you calling in, girl. Thank you for the support.
Okay. Keep up the good work. Bye-bye.
Thank you, girl. Appreciate it. Shout out to Leanne. All right, come on, Micah. Enter the stage, enter the mic up. Hello? 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 Micah. Mika. Micah. She just had her mic on. Now she turned it off. Did you turn it off, girl? I'll mute the mic.
Hello?
Oh, there you go.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hi, I can.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No worries.
So I was the one who asked the question about the honeymoon phase. So my boyfriend and I, we've been together for just 6, 7 months.
How old are you,
And
Michael?
by honeymoon phase, I mean like the excitement from the beginning isn't there anymore. The passion isn't there anymore. He texts and calls a little less, but he still does call me at least once a day. Um, and we only live 5 minutes away from each other. So I don't know, is that normal after the short amount of,
All right.
just the 6, 7 months that we've been dating?
Sure, Micah. Mike, can you hear me? I don't know if she can hear me. Hello, Micah. Hello. Okay. Hello. Are you
I can
there?
hear you, but there's just a little bit of a delay. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Can you hear? Is there still a delay? Can you call back in? Here, call back in, Micah. Call back in. I don't know why there's a delay, but just try to call back in, and I'll get to your answer. I'll get to your answer. I'll give her a second to call back in. Listen, the honeymoon phase. I'd have to define it. I'd have to ask her a question about the honeymoon phase that I'm dying to ask her. I want to know how long the relationship has been going for. I don't know if she's been just seeing him or it's been a relationship. Yeah, it does sound like a big delay. All right, here she comes. Let's see.
Hi.
Okay, Micah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Is it delayed now? No.
No, much better. Sorry about that.
Okay, no worries. All right. Okay. So you asked the question. You said the honeymoon phase, is it too short to be over with? Is that what you're saying? Basically saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
like
now,
the excitement
how?
is gone.
Okay. How old are you, Micah?
41,
Okay. How old is he?
46.
All right. Where are you calling from?
California.
Okay. Cool. So you guys have been dating for 6 months or in a relationship for 6 months?
I'm in a relationship for 6 months.
When did you guys meet?
We actually met a long time ago. We first met a year ago because he's my son's baseball coach. So we kids through baseball.
Does he have kids?
Yes. His son and my son are friends, and they go to school together.
Oh, very nice. Okay. So you guys have been dating now or in a relationship for 6 months total.
Yeah, close to
Okay.
7 now.
Okay. So how often do you guys see each other?
Um, well, like because he was my son's baseball coach this past spring, we saw each other often, but just during like baseball practices and games, um, that sort of limited us to having many dates. But now that baseball season is over, I don't feel like we've had, more dates than I would like we did in the beginning. Um, I'm used to when I'm in a relationship seeing the person a lot. I'm used to spending the quality time, and I just don't feel that right at this point now. Like in the first month of us being together, the excitement was there. We were seeing each other a lot. Um, he was definitely, you know, more consistent with texting and calling. I feel like it's a little bit less now. Like he's still calling, but it's like it's not as much.
How often do you see him?
Um, Maybe 2, 3 times a week. I guess.
Okay. How often do you guys talk? Text, including text. Out of curiosity.
Um, if every day he would at least call it once a day.
And that's still happening, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you say it was more exciting at the beginning when you guys were going out on dates and stuff. Now you're saying you guys don't go out on dates, right?
Not a whole lot, no.
Okay. Now, what was exciting at the beginning? Just describe it for me.
Um, I guess when you meet anyone new, right, or you're starting to date anyone new, you get the butterflies, all the
Mhm.
passion is there.
Mhm.
You're excited to see each other a lot. Um, he was going out of his way, bringing me coffee in the morning, randomly. Um, like he was more excited in the beginning to,
Mhm.
go on dates and
Yeah, of course. I mean,
all
but
that.
there is a practicality that happens. See, now I would have said this is a little bit more of a problem if you guys see each other once every 2 weeks, or he texts, or you guys text once every couple of days or a day. Then we start to get in the problem territory. I think that at some point, you guys, he's 40 what you said,
6,
and you're 41.
1.
See, like I don't actually see an issue with this. I think, see, maybe I have a different perspective on this. Listen, this is a very real relationship, is what it sounds like. And I think that's beautiful. I don't I don't think the Disney stuff lasts like that.
Hmm.
And I know that we're sold on that kind of stuff. I understand it's easy to see other people online and in the world and how they talk about what it should be and what you shouldn't accept and what you should accept. But it's kind of full of shit. People get used to each other, and this is what happens. Especially people in their 40s, they have lifestyles that are already solid. They got things going on in their life, and it's not always going to be this beautiful romance novel. And I'm not saying you're expecting that, but I'm just saying that the honeymoon you got in the first 2 months, that should be over. I'm not trying to tell you to lose hope on a relationship. I'm saying keep the hope in the practicality of this relationship, because that could be a beautiful thing.
Okay. So even if
There's
we see each
always
other,
things, yeah, but there's always things you could do to spice it up. But it's
right?
if it's just not the magic that you want, you can't look at him and say, "You're not bringing me magic no more." I mean, he's not going to. I mean, there's going to be a time where this is not always going to be about magic, but your lives are integrated at this point. You can still spice it up, but in terms of like the magic, I would say we're out of that moment.
Hmm. Well, if he's not really planning dates much,
How do you guys see each other 2 or 3 times a week?
um, like going out, we do go out to eat.
How often?
You, um, like the 2, 3 times a week, or we would just, if we're too tired from work or whatever, we'll just watch a movie at home, something like that.
So what exactly are you looking for?
I guess like because I'm used to spending a lot of quality time when I'm in a relationship with someone.
2 or 3 times a
Um,
week isn't enough?
um, so you think like even just 2 times is enough? Is-
Yeah, 2 or 3 times a week. I mean, you
okay.
guys both have kids,
Yeah, yeah.
and you guys both have lives and work. Yeah, 2 times a week, 3 times a week, and you guys go out to dinner those 2 or 3 times a week for the most part. I mean, what else are you looking for?
Okay. So maybe you think I might be wanting
I'm
too
just trying to
much
understand. No,
time.
I'm just trying to understand what it is you're looking for.
I
Like,
guess like
what is it that's
more.
missing? What's missing?
I guess the excitement is not there anymore, and like I guess the quality of the time that we're spending together, rather than just staying home or a
Okay.
quick
Okay. Okay.
dinner.
Okay. So
Yeah.
let's talk about it. Okay. So let me ask you the question. So what are you going to do about it?
And that's what I'm trying to figure out too. That I'm trying
Mhm.
to figure out like, do I want more? Do I want continual excitement in
You're
the
not going to get
relationship?
it. You're not going to get it. It's not going to happen. You'll get it for a little while and it will go somewhere.
Mhm.
And then you're going to have to reinvent what that looks like for yourself. But it's not just going to come to you on a plate with some random new guy that's going to show you a new way and, fly to Monaco for the weekend.
But do you think it's questionable that he's not like initiating dates much anymore? Do you think that's
I don't know how that's possible when you guys see each other 3 times a week.
mm, or like at least planning things?
But,
You you know?
but you guys, right. By the way, why don't you suggest something to plan then? You guys are in a relationship 6 months in.
And I do.
Oh, okay.
I
So here's the
do.
thing, right? Yeah, of course, he's not planning as much, but he's still taking you out to dinners and going out to eat and having a good time. I mean, listen, if you want different things to do, that's one thing. That's why I'm trying to ask what it is you're actually looking for. Is it new places? Is it his intention or his action of doing something new and different? Like, what is it? What is that you're really searching? Like, what's the thing?
I I guess like I guess like the consistency of his texting and calling has fallen. I guess that's where I'm questioning it. And and his initiation, you know, or like his excitement like from the beginning has fallen. That that's where like my
Okay,
concerns
but at
are.
some point, I understand. But at some point, it's not about what is he doing to get you excited or what is he doing. It's always about what the guy's doing, and you guys are always responding to the guy. And I'm saying you're already 6 months in a relationship, then spice some shit up.
Yeah,
Do it.
and I have like at any time that we um do something out of the normal dinner or just staying home and watching a movie, I've sort of been the one like initiating, suggesting a comedy show or something like that.
And do you guys go?
We do. I guess I would like for him to like suggest things
Yeah,
like
but
that
he
too.
doesn't. Okay, guys. Honestly, I'm gonna tell you something about guys. Guys don't want to go out and explore the world and do all these crazy things without just trying to show you the good time. They wouldn't do it up by themselves. They have no interest in that. They want to please you, but other than that, they don't really have a big interest in just going out and doing the craziest shit. Going sky, they just don't want to do that. They're in a like this guy is in his late 40s. He probably has a routine, and he wants to make you happy, but also he, he's not a genie. So if you want to do something, say, hey, I'd rather do this. And if he does it, great. He's adapting to you. But most guys, especially in their 40s, are not thinking 6 months into a relationship, wow, what kind of crazy thing can I do tonight to surprise her? They're thinking, wow, everything's going pretty well. We see each other pretty often. Everything's going great. I like her. She likes me. Intimacy's great. I see her 3 times a week. We go out to dinner. I'm having a great time with her. It's 6 months in.
Okay.
I'm saying that I don't know what you're expecting to happen, but I don't think there's a problem with the level of stability that you're having. And I know that maybe it wasn't what it was in the first month, and I can understand that.
Hmm.
But it's not going to be, whether it's 6 months in or whether it's 13 months in. At some point, the practicality of integration is starting to happen. See, I don't really see a problem. And I know you're bored, but maybe you're overly stimulated by other ideas about what this could be or where you wanted it to go from the beginning. But if you want that, you can find that in other ways. I think you can find getting to know him in other ways and don't have to rely on him to initiate every new thing into your lives. That's putting a lot of pressure on one person to satisfy those needs for you.
Hmm.
If you like to explore, do new things, then say, "Hey, I think we should go here. I'd love you to bring me here. I'd love us to go here."
Okay.
You can add some spice in. You can add some cartwheels and somersaults in the bedroom too.
So you think the the less texting that he does now is not questionable?
What's less texting?
Like l- l- like there have been times where he'll spend hours, texting me back or calling me back. unlike in the beginning where he would text pretty frequently.
It's over. That's not that's that we gotta stop living in this. Like he's texting you all the time. He doesn't need to text you all the time. You guys are in a relationship. You catch up when he sees you. Why is he texting you all day?
But like several hours of not responding back is okay.
Yeah. I mean, do you like this guy? How often do you like
I,
this guy a lot?
I do. I do.
Do you?
I do.
On a
I
scale of one
mean,
to 10, on a scale of 1 to 10, how interested are you in him?
um, l- I mean, of course, before it was a 10, but just because of the consistency of the texting and calling has gone down, it's, maybe like a 9, 8 right now. Just because, again, like I'm used to spending a lot of quality time when I am in a relationship or, in past relationships. That's what I'm used
Mm,
to.
mm, mm,
Maybe that's my love language. I'm figuring out.
mm. What you could do is, I talk to women a lot. And, I thought this was going to go in a different way. I thought you were going to say, you know, we talk once a week. This is typically what I hear when I hear people are on the verge of questioning things.
Hmm.
It's a real interest concern. We talk once a week. He takes me out maybe once a week if I'm lucky. All these things. You sound like you got a really good dude on your hands. So I think, you can give him up. I'm sure Michelle or Renee will snatch his ass real quick. They'll love a guy like him. Oh, he'll do great on the market. Oh, he'll do great. I got plenty of girls to match him up with. Oh yeah, he'll kill it out there. Kill it. Kill it. He'll
Okay,
have no problem.
so then I'm asking for too much then. Too much.
I mean, unless we're unless we're in an Aladdin movie.
Okay. Okay.
I'm just saying, just let him go on the market for a week. You can pass him over to me. Give me his information. I got plenty of girls to hook him. I'm telling you right now, just like that. It'll be like a line waiting for him. I'm next. Can I get next, please? I'm gonna get next. I want to. Oh, please, come on, bet. That's what's gonna happen. I promise you. Now you could say, "Oh, you went from a 10 to an 8," but these girls are gonna go from a 5 to a 10 immediately. Immediately. I got a suggestion. Why don't you? Do you have a chandelier in your bedroom?
I don't.
You should go buy a chandelier. Get one that's sturdy, and you just go swing from that thing. Swing up there, backflip, somersault around, cartwheel. You need to have a little bit more fun. Spice this thing up.
Okay.
I'm telling you, watch. Look, go to the chat and see if these girls look. She's lucky she got 2 or 3 times a week a text call a day, consistently attention. I can't even get that. Look, you got girls that can't get that from marriages or from early stage guys. You got girls that can't get that from guys in the first 2 weeks.
But okay, I have another thing. So, but there was one time where I texted him one night and I didn't hear from him, not even in the morning. He didn't even call me until the afternoon. So, wouldn't that be questionable to a normal person, right? Like that long of a delay. So, that's what I mean. Like sometimes it would be a delay like that.
When was this?
That was maybe like 1 or 2 months ago.
1 or 2 months ago. Probably one time, right? Like a good time that happened.
It happened at least twice, I noticed.
Twice in 6 months. Okay, got you. Um,
And
you know
I
what
do
I'm
know he
starting.
goes to sleep early too.
Okay,
You know that.
you know what I'm starting to think. And after we talk about this a little bit more, I'm starting to think you're looking for an out.
I I think I don't know. I think because I've had terrible relationships in the past, so um that's why like I'm questioning when the consistency goes down. So I am. I do admit I'm having like painful memories from past terrible relationships. Um,
I
so
understand,
it's you know
but part of
so
me, go ahead.
that is bringing like my worries. Yeah.
Part of me believes that you're putting up this defense mechanism here, and you're almost looking for a way out so you can protect yourself again.
Mm,
I don't know if it's unconscious, whatever, but it seems like every time I I say no, that's legit, you move the goalpost and you tell me something different that happened. You notice that?
mhm.
So you do this and you're almost trying to justify the feelings you have about this so that you can gain your control back. So you have a no. You know that at least if you do something about this now, you know how it's going to end. And I'm saying to you that it's starting to sound like you're looking for a problem here when I don't hear any problems. I hear consistency. As a matter of fact, I hear super consistency. I don't know how much more consistent you'd get without living with somebody.
Okay. In- okay.
You know what I mean? Or do you not hear what I'm saying?
I
Like I
do. I
just I think
do.
it's hard for you to be in the place you're in right now. But I got to tell you, I know what the dating market is like out there.
Yeah, I do too.
And no, I hear you do, but I talk to people every day about this. And I'm telling you right now,
Mhm.
I got girls who would fight you right now in the chat for this. I know that doesn't add much to your perspective, but I'm trying to get you to understand. I don't hear bad here.
Hey. No, I've dated all the bad ones in the dating world
I,
before, so
I understand. I
I
understand,
totally
but I don't hear that here. I mean, do you see that here?
okay.
I don't hear that here.
So even with the less text and calls, you don't see anything wrong,
Okay, yeah. So what?
and
Listen,
I'm
this
just
is
worried.
with everybody.
Okay.
Everybody starts off in a place where they're trying to court the girl, make her feel comfortable. Even they get excited. Then practicality in life happens.
Yeah.
But he still talks to you every day. Matter of fact, he calls you.
Yeah. Okay.
So I mean, I think you. It's not like you're sitting up here telling me to. Oh, I think he's cheating with so and so with Sally. I don't hear that. I hear you trying to look for an issue here. When I'm like, well, I don't. If you would, I don't hear any issues to be looking for.
Okay. Okay.
You want to move the goalpost again?
So I'm really just creating the problems in my head.
Well, no. I mean, you're probably comparing him to a lot of other things, and you're probably. I mean, you're probably spending a little bit of time online. I would imagine. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things that could be variables here that are helping you achieve this perspective.
Mhm. Okay. Mostly the past relationships I had. I think that's what's bringing out my um paranoia and slight anxieties about it.
Okay. Well, that's fair. I can understand that. But as you head out after this, I want ladies, anybody in the chat want the guy? I'm assuming he's pretty good looking dude. Anybody in the chat want him, just raise your hand. And when she gets off, she can see the chat of who would want Bradley. He's a baseball coach. Probably good looking dude, and he's very consistent. So if you ladies are looking for consistency, I think you should raise your hand now and forever hold your peace. All right, Mika. Appreciate you, girl.
Thank you.
Thank you, girl. Appreciate you. Does anybody else want a little bit of that? Who else want that? Hmm? I'll take them. Oh, I listen, dude. Listen. At some point, you got to question. Wait a minute. What am I asking for? What am I really looking for here? Hmm? Sounds like you're looking for a problem, and you're gonna find it. Now, I understand. Her fear took over. Let me tell you something. I just want to clarify one thing. Her fear took over. That's why she described going from a 10 to an 8. She got fearful. And that level of uncertainty, even though there wasn't much to be uncertain about, but that her level of uncertainty compared to what she was used to or what she thought it should be continuously brought that down from a 10 to an 8. She still really liked him. Don't get me wrong. She can't say 10 because she's uncertain and she wants to protect herself. Come on. Come on. She probably does have bad anxiety. I don't doubt her. I don't doubt her. I understand. I understand. Guys, can we like the video? That was an impeccable breakdown. Well, thank you, girl. All right, y'all. That's it for tonight. I'm over this. I got B1 in the comments talking about de-traumatizes. De-traumatized. I'm thinking, oh my Jesus. Listen, I get it. People can be anxious, but let me tell you something. You're gonna freak this up. Your anxiety that you can't seem to get under control is gonna freak up a good thing. And then it's gonna build momentum with you with everybody else that comes after him. When in reality, you need to check yourself and say, wait a minute. Why am I driving myself crazy over these things? He's consistent. He's there. I need to have a full life too. You got to go out and live your life too and not be concerned about the little details about a text not coming in there. He calls you every day. He sees you 3 times a week and he takes you out. And he coaches your son. And then he coaches you in the bedroom. And I think that's fair. Come on, girl. Sometimes, we need to start doing some different things. Do some handstands in the bedroom or something. Play piggies in the blanket. Come on, put a new game. Piggies in the blanket. Let's see who can find the piggy in the blanket. Who's who? Cops and robbers. Ollie Ollie oxen, free, free, free. Cat and mouse. Tag. You're it. What else we playing? Better get creative here. Better get creative, man. Piggies in the blanket. Piggies in the blanket. That's right. Dunkin' Donkeys. Piggies in a blanket. Horseplay. All right. Now I just need you guys to like the video. If you haven't subscribed, guys, I'm going to ask you, everybody here, if you're here, just subscribe to the YouTube. That's what I'm asking you to do. Just subscribe to the dang YouTube already. It's been this long. You're already here. I need you to just hit the subscribe button underneath my name over here. Get that done with. Get out the way, because when I go live, it's going to be tomorrow. I might go live on TikTok first for a bit and then this after that. So hold tight. I may do both. All right, y'all. Appreciate you guys being here. Much love for everybody that was in the chat. Appreciate you guys for being here, commenting, anything you sent over, anybody who called in. Appreciate you. Go get a chandelier, girl. Start hanging and swinging. Hanging and swinging. Practice your somersaults on the bed, off the bed, back on the bed, and no splits. So I'm going to have to go take a ballet class or something. All right. Have a good night, y'all. I'll see you guys here tomorrow night at 9:30. Last one of the week. I may do TikTok before that, around 8:45 for a little bit, just to, get people going. Got to get the people going. And you guys have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow night, 9:30. Ta-ta.